Hey friends, Shay here. So today we are going to be trying out a new series. I know I just got rid of a series, but hey, we're going to try out a new one. This is one that I'll be reading from the Shonen Jump app, and that is Cross Manage. Now, as far as I know, this is a shonen sports romance, and I've heard relatively good things about it. But again, I'm going in pretty blind to this one. I don't know too much, but this is one that I remember a lot of people talked about initially, but I haven't heard anything about it in a while. So I thought I would try this one out and see if it's something that I would enjoy. I think it's an older series as well, so I don't know for sure. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to be reading it off of my phone. My tablet I would normally read from doesn't have any juice in it right now because I did not plan my day well. But we're going to go ahead and do this. Alrighty, so I've now read the first chapter of Cross Manage, and I can tell you a little more about what it's about. So, our main man, Sakurai, seems to have been involved in a sport of some sort at some point and ended up with an injury. And so now he's kind of lost and wandering, feeling pretty empty. And then he runs into this girl who's practicing lacrosse, and she's really, really bad at it. So he's intrigued as to why she keeps trying so hard because she's so bad at it and things like that. And they keep crossing paths. He keeps trying other clubs. It keeps not working. And he ends up helping her improve. And she's like, you can come be the manager of the lacrosse club. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And of course, she tries to take his bag and is playful, and he accidentally, trying to grab his bag, ends up grabbing her chest. And he's like, I'm so sorry. It wasn't on purpose. I just want to leave. I was just trying to get my bag. She's like, no, I was at fault too, because she was the one, holding his bag and taking it and stuff. And then all of a sudden she's like, no, I'm not going to forgive you. You have to come be the manager of the lacrosse club. And that's kind of the setup here. So clearly he's drawn to this girl. I'm pretty sure she's the romantic interest for him. And so far, I like the art. I don't love the baited to do this premise, but I hope that dies down pretty quick. Otherwise, it's pretty good. So I'm going to keep going through this first volume, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the first volume. Alrighty, so now I've finished the first volume of Cross Manage, and it's interesting. So as the volume goes on, the team is not very accepting of Sakurai in the beginning. Obviously, because it's a team full of girls, they worry about a teenage boy being their manager. because they think he's doing it for pervy reasons. And considering he just walks into the club room and they're all half dressed, that's not a hard thing to assume in the beginning. But as things go on, he really dives into being the manager and ends up really starting to help the team. He gets a good look at what lacrosse is really like with a practice game that they had. It kind of motivates everybody. And, he'd been doing a lot of sneaky behind the scenes kind of stuff. And then he kind of really gets into it publicly, tells his friends that's what he's doing. And somebody else finds out who's the manager of the soccer team, because the soccer team is where he used to play sports. But he grew too fast and ended up with problems with his knees and ended up injuring himself. And that's why he doesn't play soccer anymore. And so she believes that he should only be playing soccer, this manager. And, that's not healthy. She clearly has a crush on him and is a little bit obsessed with him. And he's dense and doesn't see it. But our girl that kind of recruited him to help the lacrosse team feels like she treated him awful. And it ended up being a pretty good thing by the end. But I'm really interested to see how the next volume's going to go. Because I have a feeling this girl is the soccer manager is going to come in and cause problems now. So let's go ahead and move on to the volume 2. Alrighty, so volume 2 is done, and yes, Manager Girl tried to cause some problems. Thankfully, that got quashed pretty quick. I found out this is only a 5-volume series, so I'm sure that's part of why it got squashed pretty quick. We had some girls quit in this volume, and then they worked really hard to get them to come back because they all had strengths, and it's a good series. It's fun so far. Again, with it only being 5 volumes, I'm probably going to go ahead and read the other 2 after I read the third one. But I'm really excited for this third volume. It's a fun series. It's about, the down and out team getting a manager that's helping them actually improve. And it's quite sweet. There's plenty of fan service in it for the guys, since it's a Shounen series featuring a girls team. So I fully expected to see some of that. Not as much as I expected, honestly, but there's enough there. So anyhow, this next volume, I think will have a little bit more of the fan service from the little preview that's at the end of the volume. So we'll see how volume 3 turns out, and I will let you know my thoughts on the other side. And with that, I have finished the first 3 volumes of Cross Manage. I do think I'll go ahead and finish out this series. It's all on the Shonen Jump app, so I'm not spending any money to do that. But this is really kind of a fun series. There's just enough fan service in it for those who like the fan service, but it's not so much that it's like obnoxious. So I would highly recommend checking this series out. Again, I read it all on the Shonen Jump app. You can subscribe to the Shonen Jump app for a couple of dollars a month, and you can read up to 100 chapters a day doing that. So you can access a lot of manga for not a lot of money, and I think that's a really smart way to do it. So I highly recommend checking out the Shonen Jump app if you haven't. This isn't sponsored by the Shonen Jump app or anything. If they ever wanted to sponsor me, I'd be totally down for that. But I will leave a link to details about the app down below so you can download it wherever you need to. And again, consider subscribing to it because I think it's a great asset. If you're wanting to try out a lot of manga, I think it's a great app to do that. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you're here just because you love me, leave me something related to lacrosse. I don't know if they have like the little lacrosse actual like stick in the emojis. If not, just like a ball of some sort. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.